What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about what makes a martial art effective. Okay, so there's actually a really simple answer to this question. To make a martial art effective, you have to use it effectively. Who knew? To me, any martial art you look at is kind of like a blank canvas, and as you learn more and more of the art, you kind of create your own take of what the creator of the art made. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking I'm talking nonsense because really, you go to training and you learn what your teachers teach you as they teach you it, right? But what I mean by this is, as you go along learning what you're taught, you're going to start adding in your own kind of little adaptations to each move, making them easier for you. And you're also going to find moves that you prefer to others, and these are probably going to become your bread and butter. And this is one of those things which is pretty certainly going to happen to most of you through your martial arts journey. You're going to find what you think is effective and you're going to use them more often. That's just simple logic. But what I think is really important here is building good habits. Whilst you're practicing techniques, you have to kind of stop thinking about how good you are at it, and you have to start thinking about how effective it's going to be in that scenario. Now when I say scenario, what I want you to think about is, where are you going to use this technique? Are you going to be using this competitively against someone who knows how to fight? Or are you going to be using it out in the open where you might be facing more than one guy at a time? Another thing you're going to have to think about is whether or not you can execute a technique on a wide range of opponents, and this is where it gets tricky. From my experiences, I know that some people can execute some techniques on some people but not others, and others can execute certain techniques on pretty much anyone. A technique that you can execute perfectly might not work for your training partner, but this is just something you're going to have to play around with. What I suggest here is, once you've drilled a technique over and over again and you know you can execute it properly, you need your training partners to come at you full force and try and stop you from executing that technique. But if every time you find them easing up or slowing down for you, then something's going wrong here. You either don't know the technique properly yet, in which case you need to keep practicing it, or you're doing something wrong and you need to ask your teacher immediately before you continue practicing it. But if you and your teacher are certain you're doing the technique right, then this might not be the technique for you or the situation, and you need to find an alternative. And I know a lot of people are going to think that it's disrespectful asking to learn a different technique just because a certain one doesn't work for you, but that's really the best thing you can do for your progress. And if your teacher doesn't want to teach you a different technique, then you might want to rethink how much they care about your training. So the key here to making the martial art effective is not just to work hard, but to also work smart. And to sum up everything I've just said here, a quote by Bruce Lee: "Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own." To do this, you're going to have to play around with all of the techniques you learn. Remember, they're not set in stone, and the only way you're going to reach your potential is by making it work for you. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, subscribe and share if you like the video, and I'll see you guys next time.